Yo, what is up YouTube? It is Lucid Alvar here today with another video, and today we're actually going to be doing a lore video on our favorite game, The Outer Worlds. But before we actually do get into the video, I do want to say if you guys want to leave a like and subscribe, it really does mean a lot, and it does make me want to make more of these videos for lore on The Outer Worlds, because I know these videos usually don't do as good as my Kenji videos, but come on, everybody here loves Kenji. Ugh. Anyways, let's get straight into it. So, Cascadia is a place in the Outer Worlds that's left up to a lot of mystery unless you do a little bit of solving on your own. And this is actually one of the places that I love coming to early game because you can level up fast up here. Like I went in there when I was level 6 and I leveled up all the way to 25 by the time I got to Stellar Bay. But you know, Monarch is a planet that has the clause on it where, you know, companies can't come here and operate or else they're going to be fined. And that is respectable because apparently it is not inhabitable enough. And if you've been to Cascadia, you know what they mean by that. But, you know, we want to know what happened to the city of Cascadia. It looked like it used to be such a nice city. There's even a bridge that leads across to the second part of the city. So what happened here? Well, guys, I'm here to answer that. What ended up happening here was quite a long story. So we'll kind of take it into a little bit of steps. The first one we're going to talk about is the walls. The walls were not properly made for the city. The walls were super horribly made. They're so horribly made that there was actually a wildlife examination report that even documented it, the engineer saying that these walls will not stand, that raptidons will be able to crawl under and pretty much go into the chemical tanks and have an infestation if they wanted to, and that they've been actually preying a lot closer to us. So, you know, the walls in fact were really weak, and the reason that wildlife was entrenching more into them because Rizzo, the company that actually operated in Cascadia, that was their like operation area where they sold and manufactured stuff. They were working on a Ptereays project, and the Ptereays were dying, you know, kind of a little bit a lot, and they were starting to attract the wildlife. Well, guys, the things that they were trying to project on was attracting raptidons. You'd think that they would be smarter than this, but no, they're not. So, you know, the wildlife started entrenching more. But, you know, the thing that even solidifies this more is if you go to the other side of the bridge, if you venture out over there, you're going to come across a series of terminals that actually do talk about the sightings, and that, you know, that a lot of people have been sighting raptidons, and that HR has been kind of just, been trying to tuck it under the cable. Under the table. And they've been trying to, you know, make people not worry and make them just like, you know, worry about their job type of thing. And, you know, I get that, you know, like you don't want people to worry about dangerous creatures that might come and kill you in your sleep. That is a very plausible thing that you want them at 100% productivity. You don't want them worrying. But, you know, they ended up just like kind of sweeping it under the rug. But then, you know, we have to get into the bigger aspect of things, and is that there were actually the Ptereays project that I mentioned earlier was actually being ran by 3 people called Summer, Pauline, and Theodore. These 3 people were, you know, notified first about the entire clause on Monarch that would prohibit people from working on there. And, you know, this is a whole entire another story on why people can't operate there. But, you know, they were notified first, and, you know, they were told that they would only be getting sent one shuttle. And Summer was kind of upset about this because he thought, you know, why are they only sending one shuttle? We're supposed to be like really profitable. And he tells them that, like, you know, we're working on this project for the Ptereays. Why are we only getting one evac? And they said that projects do not determine your profitability. So Summer had to deal with only one, you know, evac thing. And this is when Theodore suggests the brilliant idea of, let's just go with the Ptereays crew, and, you know, we will have a lot of more leg rest area for us and ourselves. And Paulina, being as smart as she is, she realizes that this is a good idea, and she seconds it. And, you know, Paulina just decides to pretty much second it. She ends up seconding it, and she, like, loves it. You know, Paulina just loves it. She ends up just doing it because she loves it. Anyways, you know, Summer actually then goes on along and says, okay, we'll do it this way, but, you know, we have to keep it under the carpet, and, you know, we also can't tell him that there's a clause because he doesn't want there to be any panic, or even he fears worse, a strike. So, you know, he doesn't want any of that. And so what ends up happening is if you go to the terminal and the bar in Cascadia landing pad, you know, where you first come in, you'll see that there's this person that kind of starts getting a little bit of a fishy feeling about what's happening. And, he starts feeling like a little bit like, yo, like, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? What's happening here? And, he ends up kind of realizing that the evac situation is kind of seeming a little fishy, that, only the Ptereays crew and them four were going to go onto the shuttle and go somewhere and come back again. And with more shuttles, he found it a little bit weird. And then he did ask questions at the town meeting that you're able to read later. And, they really suck at keeping things under the carpet. But they ended up actually leaving the people behind because some Ptereays got free. And this caused the raptidons to finally just dig under the wall and come over and infest the town. And this ended up, ravaging through the town. And that's when they ended up sealing the doors on the bridge. And they decided that this was the best course of action and that this would, be the best thing. So they ended up sealing off the doors on the bridge, and pretty much what ended up happening was one side of the bridge did get overrun by wildlife. The other side did, and they got completely demolished by wildlife. And you can even see that when you land there. The other side, well, they kind of got overran by, I think, marauders and wildlife, like kind of a mixture of two. There is like a terminal in there that talks about, like, I think it's supposed to be marauders, but I'm not sure what they're talking about. It could be anything, but I'm gonna say that it's probably marauders. Anyways, we go into this, and you guys want to hear the best part. We can probably pinpoint about how far this happened ago. So I would say about in the year range of 20 to 30 years ago, because there's this guy called Howard who takes his son Herbert and his comatose wife Margaretline down into a ration room. It's like a generator room where you control the generators and everything, and there was actually a lot of rations in there, and he takes them down there and he pretty much houses them for about that long. And the way he does it is that he develops a way to ration from his old days of some old training, and he ends up rationing, and his wife ends up staying in a comatose state for a long time. But the thing is that he suffered a bite from a raptidon that did not heal, and he started getting this irky smell. And, it took a couple of years. I don't know how an infection lasts so long. It takes a couple of years to kill him. But he ended up dying when his son was a little bit older. And his son realized that his dad was gone. But, I think there was, a little bit of mental issues with his son. Because his son kind of wanted to impress a robot. So that's the only thing I'm going to say there. But, he ended up pulling the plug on his wife. His, Howard, the father, ended up pulling the plug on Margaretline, his wife, because he realized that she's never going to wake up, and, he'd rather both of them be dead than just him. And Herbert actually ends up still being alive, and he's actually hostile towards you. I don't know if he's hostile towards you, all the time, but he was hostile towards me when I barely walked in. I mean, I wasn't really trying to kill him or anything, but he attacked me first, so, fuck you, Herbert. No, I'm just playing. Herbert actually ends up being a really sad story. He's the last inhabitant of Cascadia, and you actually end up killing him. But hopefully you guys did enjoy. Remember to leave a like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and peace.